Hello everyone. My name is Temitope Olodo, and today we're going to actually be talking about safety and security in schools. I felt it was important that we do this, not because of anything, but because of the fact that we know that the kids from Zafara have been released, and that is good news, the fact that they've been released. But the question is, the fact they've been released, and that changed anything in terms of safety and security in school? And the answer is no, it has not changed the situation in our schools. And I am of the opinion that if we are not very careful, uh, this incident might happen in Kano, it might happen in Sokoto, it might happen in Kwara State. And my view, this is my view is that there are things that parents need to do in order to be able to ensure safety and security of their children who are in school. And that's the reason why I want to uh, talk about 7 things that should be happening in schools. I feel that there are 7 things that we need to do in schools. And if you really want to fully understand the dire situation that we are, how bad things are, you just need to see pictures of children who have been kidnapped from their school. And
This
that
is
will more or less
children, student when they kidnap. Now
watch
then be
this
this.
video,
Oh,
and I will come back to you in a few minutes.
this is people when they kidnap. Cause I see the way they so far. Hey, the so man. That's this is the people student when they kidnap. Now then they release this morning. Casa. Sorry. Oh, see how somebody is so far. Eh? Hmm? No, bro. Not this one there, Mongo. Oh, they are so far. God. Hey. See them. These the people when they kidnap. See how they so far person. Nah. Nah,
Now, what I want you to concentrate on really is I actually wanted you to concentrate on the narrative, the not the commentary, but actually how bad those people look like. And these are school children who have been subjected, to all kinds of nightmare that they will never be able to erase except they get proper medical psychological support. Most of them will have post-traumatic stress at the end of the day. I am concerned that from Bonu to Katsina, from Katsina to Zafara, from Zafara to Niger State, Nigerian youth have been subjected to all kind of all kind of diabolical acts that they should never be subjected to. So if you're a parent right now, or you're an uncle, you're an aunt that have young ones, cousins, nephews who are in a boarding school, especially in northern Nigeria, what are the 7 questions that you need to ask? There are 7 questions that I believe you need to be asking, the school authority. If if your kids are going to be in their school, if your cousins are going to be in those schools, there are 7 questions that you need to be asking. And those are the things that I am going to be talking about right now, because I am of the view that if we do not ensure that there is safety and security in our schools, then we have a big problem. If we do not ensure that our school are putting in place appropriate security measures, then we're a problem. The good news, of course, is that the 317 kids who were taken from who were taken from Zamfara have been released. The girls have been released. So unlike the Chibok girls, they've all been released. Unlike the situation of Lai Shaib, who is the only one in captive from Yobe State, from our school in Yobe State, we found out now that at least these ones have been released. So this is a plus to the government. But it's not a get out card, because the bottom line still remains that these kids have been subjected to things that they should never have been subjected to. And no parent will be happy that they have a situation where people have been allowed, or their children have been allowed to go through this trauma. So what are the 7 things or 7 questions that you should be asking, or the 7 questions that you must ask? Before we go to those 7 questions, I think it's important to also listen to the commentary by the defense minister, Nigerian defense minister, and his view in terms of what he feels we should be doing. Listen to his comments.
It's of everybody to keep alert and find safety when necessary. But we shouldn't be cowards. At times, the banditry will only come with about 3 rounds of ammunition. When they fire shot, everybody runs. In our younger days, we stand to fight any aggression coming to us. I don't know why people are running away from mano thing like that. They should stand and let these people know that even the villagers, they have the competence and capability to defend themselves. But
now, you've had the Honorable Minister of Defense saying that he believed that the people should stand. Those people might only have just 3 bullets in their submachine gun, their AK-47. So wait there and get killed. Literally, that's what they say. If he changed the law, then I might agree with him. I personally do not agree or subscribe to it. My own is hide, hide and run. If you have an opportunity, if you're in a situation like that, hide, run, and report it. Call appropriate security agents. That is the advice that is given in most sensible countries around the world. And of course, except you are allowing people to carry arms, and I don't think Nigerian government will even allow you to carry normal arms, not to talk of AK-47. So what are the things that, we as parents, aunties, uncles, father, mother, what could we do to ensure safety and security of our kids if they go to school? I would like to talk about 7 security checklists that I think you must take on board. Every school must have a security audit. And when I'm talking about security audit, I'm talking about the fact that they must have a system in place where they will audit, they will audit the situation in the school to find out, do they have the appropriate security measures in place to keep the school safe from all kind of threats, both internal and external. It is only when you carry out an audit that you'll be able to understand where your gaps are. And I believe that the first thing that must be done is that you must have a security audit. So every school must have a security audit. So if you're a parent and you're listening to me right now, you need to ask and call the principal of the school and say, do you have a security audit template, booklet, something that you've done in terms of measure security? Do you have enough lightnings? Do you have the appropriate fence? Do you have the appropriate access control? What kind of measures do you have in place? Security drill, all those kind of things to ensure safety and security of both students and people working within the system. Then the second thing that you need is that you must have a risk register. Every school must have a risk register. There must be a risk register in place to ensure that at least on a monthly basis, you are querying that risk register. I'm not saying write a risk register and then keep it on the shelf. No, I'm talking of a risk register that you could, interrogate on a monthly basis when you have your teachers parents association meeting, or if you're doing it by Zoom now, or when the principal and the school management are having their meeting, they should talk about security. Do we have enough security in place? What are the security breaches that have taken place in the school in the last 1 month, and what have been done in terms of mitigation? And you must have a security manager, a risk manager, that will be responsible for ensuring that that risk had been mitigated, i.e. it's been dealt with. So for example, if a pedophile tried to enter into a school, or somebody brought a car and was trying to pick up minors from outside the school who are, who is known as a sexual predator, you've already reported it to the police, and you've put in place appropriate measures. You send messages to parents that if they want their kids to go home alone on their own, they must at least let you know, and all those kind of things. So there are different measures that you've put in place, to ensure that the safety and security of your children, as far as they're within the walls of your school and when they are going home. You understand? If your the children in your school have been known to be involved in knife fight or gang fight outside the school premises, what have you done? Have you placed teachers, at every bus stop? If your children in your school are notorious for going to steal things from shops around that area, have you, spoken to the owners of those shops? Have you made sure that you have your teachers outside your school or outside the school premises to make sure after the school closure in the afternoon, or school coming in the morning, that your teachers are watching them and making sure they know this boy, oh, Jide, Wale, John, don't do that, don't be naughty, go to your class, whatever, those kind of discussions. They know their teacher, they have a bit of a banter with them, just close to the school, not far away from the school, but all those kind of things. So those are things that will be captured that of course will be captured in your risk register, so that you know that at least the safety of your school children are in place. Then, number 3, you need to ensure that you have an appropriate MOU with security agencies around you, because what we found out is that all the schools that have been attacked so far in Nigeria, in the northern part of Nigeria, they all have either military posts or police stations very close to them, not far away. But we've never had the school principals coming out to say, oh, this is what we have done to ensure safety and security of our kids. These are the MOUs that we have, that if we have a distress, we have an emergency, you've given us a distress code that we can call the DPO, we can call the police checkpoint or call the military checkpoint to say, oh, this is the situation, and we'll have this rapid response. In fact, for all the kids that have been taken, there have not been a proactive approach by the police to deal with this. And Even after all these incidents have happened, we've not heard of any school saying, oh, we now have an MOU with security agencies in our town or in our village to say, if there is this incident, this is what we're doing. All they're doing is putting one security guard outside their school where you have 200 or 100 bandits on motorbike carrying AK-47 coming to the school. They will overwhelm that security post that you have in your school. So it is important that you have a system in place. And look at the child that was killed in the Kangara school that was shot in the head. If, for example, you have appropriate first aid, maybe that child could have been saved. Maybe it could have been, his injury could have been reduced. You know, he could have maybe survived it. We don't know how bad the injury was, but do you have first aider in the school? Do you have an hospital that you signed a contract with to say, if there is an incident in our school, this is what we're going to do. We're going to alert you. We're going to get an ambulance in place. And you sign all those measures. So you, as number 3, you need to have an MOU. As number three, actually, you actually need to have an embedded security drill in your school. So that is my number 3. Actually, have a security drill. So if there is an incident, except the school actually comes out on their microphone to say, please come out, everybody should hide, there should be a panic room somewhere. But now we found out that these people are entering into the school wearing military uniforms and badging into schools. So now there must be a measure or a discussion with all principals to say, nobody, whether dressed in police uniform or dressed in military uniform, should be able to enter into a school at certain hours of the day, except they have an express permission and that information have been conveyed to the principal of the school or to the head of school before. So when you have a situation where anybody can wear uniform and walk into a school without authorization, it doesn't work. It should not work and it should not be allowed. So those are the kind of things and lessons learned that could be taken from all the security measures that have the security incident that have happened, and that could be embedded. If you are watching me right now, you can like this page, you can share this page, and you could tell your friends that I'm actually talking about 7 things that parents, like a parent guide, you know, that things that they could put in place to make sure that, you know, measures that they could put in place to make sure that the appropriate, you know, security measures, you know, to protect schools are in place. So number 4, I was talking about MOU, and I think there is need to be a proper MOU with the police, you know, with civil defense, with the what I call preparatory security groups like the NHS. You need to not NHS, sorry, we're not in Nigeria now, with the hospitals, to make sure that at least that you have a situation where if this incidents happen, there is this private hospital or there is this government hospital not far away from us that we could take kids to, and will be prepared to have us. Not that when you take the kids there, they are now asking for permission. We want children, parents' consent. We want the principal to come and sign the document. All those things will have been done ahead to make sure that those kind of incidents are dealt with. So you need an MOU. So the first thing that you need to have a quarterly security audit, a security audit that have been done for the school. Number 2, you need to have a risk register for the school, and it should be updated on a monthly basis. Number 3, you need to have an embedded security drill. So that embedded security drill that you do. When I was in school, you know, in Nigeria in those days, you used to have fire drill, you used to have all kind of drill, and even in Israel as we speak, they have drills that they do, you know, just to make sure that at least, you know, kids know how to deal with things. And I know that even in countries where they have bomb alert or rockets, you know, rockets that could fly, you know, they make sure that kids are aware of it. They've done it, they've shown them, you know, the impact and all those kind of things, so that at least they are ready for it. And I think that is very, very important, because if we don't have those measures in place, then, you know, it will be quite difficult. Let me again share a video of the governor of Kaduna State. And I think this video is very important, because you will be able to understand exactly where the governor of Kaduna, where he stands on issues with regard to security, in Nigeria, based on his experience as a governor and somebody that have worked in government. So listen to this video, and then I'll come back to the next 3-4
resolve an insurgency. It's not going to happen. I've been in government. We are just applying military force and we think we can resolve an insurgency. It's not going to happen. I've been in government. I've run a territory, and I know the amount of information I get, security reports that I get as minister. The president gets 50 times that. And I put it to you, and I challenge anyone, including the DGSSS, to this.
So what the government is saying is they get security reports, they know what is happening. So if indeed there are security reports that are out there and they are telling them about what is happening, the question we should be asking now is that, has the intelligence agencies in Nigeria failed Nigerians without them not seeing this incident happening? So it happened the first time, they could be forgiven. It happened the second time, we could say, okay, they were not well prepared. But the third time, the fourth time, oh, come on. Where are the lessons learned from all this, insecurity that is happening in our school, and bandits entering into schools and picking up 42 people, picking up 100 children, picking up 300, picking up 500, and yet there is no security intelligence report on this for the governor to be able to put things in place? I think that is very, very bad. And I think there are questions that need to be asked. Even with the return of the 317 girls, head should still rule. People should still be asked the questions: how did you sleep on post? How could you sleep on duty to allow this kind of incident to happen? And it looks as if we have not learned our last lessons at all. For people that are just joining me right now, I want you to like this page, I want you to share this page, I want you to tell people that I'm talking about 7 questions that parents should ask if their kids are in boarding school. If you have kids in boarding school, you must ask these 7 questions before you ask your kids to go back to school. And if they're in school right now, call up the principal and ask these 7 questions. And if they cannot answer you to their affirmative, then what you need to do at this point is to ask your child to be withdrawn home until the school can give you guarantee that your child is protected. The first thing I said is that there must be a security audit. Any school must have a security audit in place to ensure safety and security of the children and people that work within the school. I said there must be a risk register, and that risk register will have mitigating circumstances, embedded into it, and implementation plan. So, for example, if there is a risk that has been identified, there must be measures put in place to deal with that risk, to mitigate that risk. And during the monthly meeting of the principal with his management, or the principals with the parents teachers association, they must talk about those risks and say, oh, we identify these risks and we have put measures in place. That is to build parents' confidence in the school that they take into consideration the safety and security of their kids who are in the school. Then in a boarding school, there must be security drill. There must be drill to say, now that we are seeing that there's a lot of kidnapping happening and a lot of people dressed in police uniform or military uniform coming in the middle of the night, then you have a policy. If anybody knocks on the door at 3 p.m., 3 a.m. at night, saying that they are military, please run for your life. Just start running. Don't wait for anybody, just start running. Even if you give that basic information to kids, you could save 317 from being kidnapped next. And I will not be surprised, and this is a political prophecy, that if our government do not put in place the appropriate measures to ensure safety and security and to deal with the issue of insecurity in boarding schools in the north, Sokoto will not be left out. Niger State will not be left out. Kwara State will not be left out. Kaduna State will not be left out. These states might be prone to kidnapping, and we do not want that to happen. So let me go to number 4. Like I mentioned, there must be an MOU with security agencies. If you're watching me right now, you can like this page, you can share this page, and you could tell people that I'm live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, talking about 7 things, checklists that parents must ask. So you must have measures, you must have measures in place with parents to deal with insecurity, and with security agencies to do with insecurity, to say if there is a security challenge, this is what we are going to do. Let me move to number 5. There must be a crisis communication strategy. How do you communicate with parents? Many parents are saying they do not know things have happened. You must have all the parents' telephone number and email address. You should have it. It's important that you have those addresses in place so that when things happen, they will not be listening or hearing it in the news. They will have gotten it from you that, oh, there was an incident, but we've activated our business continuity plan, our school continuity plan. This is what we are doing for your children who are going to be at home, pending when we resolve these security measures. This is how their teacher will communicate to them. These are all the information. As we speak right now, all the children from those schools that have been asked to go home, what measures? Kano State is now closing all schools. Do they have a crisis communication strategy in place? Do they have a school continuity plan in place to ensure that the school curriculum will continue even with all these incidents that have happened? I don't think they have, and that again shows you that everything is being run, in a reactive way. It's a fire brigade strategy that is being deployed. Then, apart from that, I also believe, as number 6, that we need to establish a school security team, not just putting one person at the gate. There must be people who have been trained about security for the school, and they must meet and talk about security. But more importantly, and this is an advice to any governor that comes across this video, or anybody that's listening to me right now, let every school have a security manager, and then create a WhatsApp group or a Telegram where all of them will be sharing ideas. It might be in Yoruba language, it might be in Hausa language, it might be in English, it might be in their local language. Let them share ideas and say, oh, this is what is happening in Zamfara. Oh, it's different for us in Kano. It's different for us in Sokoto. And then those sharing of ideas will uplift them. We give them additional skills. Oh, this happened in our skill, and this is how we dealt with this. This happened in our area. This is how we dealt with it. Those things are important, because if you don't do those things, then you are not dealing with security challenges in your schools. Let's listen to a senator speaking about insecurity in Nigeria, and then we'll talk about this. We'll finish on the 6th and the 7th.
For the National Assembly, we must say, and that's the painful part. Our resolutions don't mean anything. Our bills that are passed and not assented to, the more you say it, the more annoying it is to the president. He will never change them. Therefore, Mr. President, please, I want us to have a cursory look at Section 1.3. Section 1.3 is not about removal of Mr. President. There are certain actions that the National Assembly can take.
So here you could see a very angry member of the legislative arm in Nigeria saying, you know what, if this president does not want to listen to us, if every time that we say something he's doing the opposite, then we need to have him removed. I'm not going to say we should remove. I think, in fact, the president is right to say that every school manager, every school owner should take responsibility. The first things that I've mentioned here, things like risk register, security audit, that cannot be done by the president. That cannot be done by the governor. They only just need to provide security leadership to say you need to have enough security measures in place. Now, once you have that, then you can now go back to the president and then challenge the president that we have done our bit in terms of holding on, putting in place the appropriate security measures. It is now left to the president to now ensure the general security. Now, last but not the least, I think there must be an effective access control. I mentioned it earlier, access control. Anybody should not be able to enter into a school anyhow. It should not be happening in this modern day that somebody can come into a school at 1 a.m., at 2 p.m., at 2 a.m. in the morning, in the middle of the night, to say that there are security people should gather. What are they gathering for? So any school principal should know that that is a wrong signal. And the military should come out and say, if anybody is using our uniform at any point, if you see a military person, if you did not call them and they come to your school, shoot at them. If a police enter your school in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. in the morning without any excuse, shoot at them. If you see a military convoy coming to you in the middle of the night, shoot at them, because we will not move in the night except you call us. Those are the kind of measurements. But we've not had the military make any comment. We've not had the police make any comment about people using their uniform. They've not even said, okay, we're going to have this badge, or every night if you see, ask us a code. Use a word, use a phrase that is only known among the principals of the school to say, you know what, if we say code blue, code 5, 125 blue, know that these are genuine and those codes are only within specific state or within specific area. So let me, again, as I round up, start to give you the 7 things or checklist that you must ask as parents. First of all, you must ask for evidence of security audit in a school. Second, you must ask for audit of evidence of school risks register, which is updated on a monthly basis. Number 3, you must ask if they've embedded security drill in a school system to ensure safety and clarify the children are familiar with security issues. Number 4, you must ensure that there is a good MOU in place with security agencies in security situations so that they could come to your aid. Number 5, you must have a crisis communication strategy in place. Number 6, you must ensure that you've established a security team in your school who understand security and who are handling security matters in your school. Number 7, last but not the least, you must have an effective, must have an effective access control protocol in your school. If the school that your child is attending right now does not have those 7 measures in place, withdraw that child from that school right now, or call for an emergency meeting to ensure that those things are put in place. My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm the president of African Security Forum and CEO of Transcustodium UK. My email address is rolling down, and my email address is there. My website is there. I'm the author of Nigerian School Security Book, which is available on Amazon. Please share this page, share it, like it, and share, and more or less call your friends and tell them about it. Let them look for it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. You can see the information about the YouTube page. Go there, subscribe to my YouTube page, and I'll be coming to you again with more and more information. Until I see you again, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep social distance. God bless you.